Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Koss, founder of caregiver. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to have a special guest, Megan Wilcoxon. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a moment here. But as you know, at caregiver, we focus on technology and how technology can help special needs individuals. However, along the way, we like to feature people that inspire us, people that have dedicated their lives and careers and are given back to the special needs community. And I happened to speak with Megan recently, and I said, you know what? I'd love to have you on our show and do a segment. Frankly, and I say this all the time, Megan, there just simply are not enough people, certainly not enough young people that want to get into the profession of doing something right in the special needs community, whether it's teaching, caregiving, or whatever. I mean, I realize it's tough duty. However, it could be very rewarding. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time here with Megan, getting to know Megan, letting the audience get to know Megan, and talk a little bit about what she's chosen as a career path and how she got here. So Megan, welcome, and thanks for joining.
Yeah.
So great. So if we could just kick this thing off, I mean, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do today.
Yeah, so my name is Megan. I'm originally from Eastern Michigan, near the Port Huron area. I went to undergrad at Grand Valley State University, and I studied allied health sciences with an emphasis in speech language pathology. And currently I'm a graduate student at St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, Indiana, and I'm getting a dual master's degree in autism studies and speech language pathology.
Wow, that's a full load right there. So tell me, how did you get into this field, and when did you know you wanted to get involved with something and actually dedicate and build a career around serving special needs? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think it all started in high school. I was part of a Lunch Buddies program where I spent some lunch periods throughout the week with kids who were in the special education classroom at my school. And then I started serving as a volunteer through the Campus Links program, where it was actually called the Links program, I believe. It was through a school in Michigan in my county, and they kind of paired us with the students who were at this special education school. And I really had a great experience there, and I knew that I wanted to continue with that through my school. So I was a part of a mentoring program in my undergrad school, where I was paired with undergraduates who are on the autism spectrum. And I just acted as like a social and academic mentor with them. And I've been able to kind of pioneer a program here at my graduate school, starting a very similar mentoring program. So I've had a lot of different experiences that have led me to where I am, but everything's very rewarding for sure.
So that's awesome. So you've really poured yourself into this thing, it sounds like. So it's been developing, in high school, and it sounds like you brought some ideas post high school that you're implementing through what you're doing now and the program you're in now. So that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the formal studies? I mean, my audience knows I have a son, Kevin, age 36, with a traumatic brain injury, and we've been dealing with Kevin's challenges the past 20 plus years. But honestly, I don't know much about formal education and the folks that work in this field. What does it require, right? You're talking about it sounds like you're doing a dual master's and all that. Can you tell us a little bit about the program?
Yeah, so my master's degree in autism studies kind of takes a biopsychosocial approach. So we read a lot of books and watched some documentaries about people on the spectrum and just sharing their experiences with life and how it's affected them socially and with their families and relationships and things like that. We learned more about like the diagnosis and everything like that. And then some of the services that help with individuals with disabilities, so social work, occupational therapy. And then my master's in speech language pathology is completely separate. And with that, I learned more about adult language disorders, speech and language disorders, traumatic brain injuries. And I also have some clinical experience through that master's. So right now I'm have some clinical experience through the clinic here on campus. Yeah.
That's great. The and as you know as well or better than I do, I mean, when you talk about the autism spectrum itself, it's so wide and broad,
It
right?
is. Mm-hmm.
And you know, sometimes it's very hard to even detect that someone may be, you know, somewhere on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And some are, of course, it's pretty obvious, but I would imagine in your curriculum and some of the things you study, it covers a pretty wide base in how to deal with some of these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of course? So how long is a program typically for what you're doing? Is a full-blown master's degree, it sounds like. So two full years of additional study on top of an undergrad, right?
Yeah, so my autism studies degree was 4 semesters and the speech language pathology is 5, so total of 9. Right now I'm in semester 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit, I know you're also working, right? While you're
Yep.
going through this, and I think you do some work in a group home, special needs group home. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do you do when you're working day to day? What does a normal day look like? And I guess maybe I shouldn't use the word normal, right? What does a day typically throw at you? What's your day look like?
Yeah, so the home that I'm at serves 4 adult women with various disabilities. Some of them are physical disabilities and others intellectual. And they actually are in a space that has a couple other group homes that are all in that area, and they have an academic or I guess it'd be like an extracurricular center where they can go during the day for like day program throughout the week. So it's a unique space, and they have like a farm area there too. But typically when I'm working with the women, I'm doing mostly personal care. And if I'm there in the afternoons, we go out into the community. We might go to the park or go swimming or to like the YMCA in our community. So we try to get out into the community and do things while the weather is nice.
Sure. Oh yeah. And these winters are long in the Midwest.
That's for sure.
So it's good to get outdoors with everyone. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, again, I kind of open this conversation with, you know, it's challenging, right? The role in this career path is challenging, but it's certainly rewarding at the same time. I mean, can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, what gets you motivated each day when you get up, whether it's continuing through your current schooling or going, you know, to work on a daily basis? Tell me about the rewards of this business you've chosen.
Yeah. So I guess when I'm going to work, I love that they make me laugh. They have such a unique sense of humor, and I feel like I'm always laughing when I'm with them. And they're so passionate about what they do. A lot of the women in my home are very crafty. So they like to do different latch hooks and diamond bead puzzles and things like that. And they've given me a lot of artwork since I've been working there. And I just love to display it around my room. I feel like they're so unique, and a lot of people overlook that.
Yeah. Oh, it's extremely talented. It
Yes,
is.
for sure.
I know exactly what you're saying. It blows me away sometimes when I meet someone, you know, one of Kevin's friends, or, you know, some of the programs that he's in, and some of the talents are just, it's amazing. So,
yeah.
So that's good. I mean, that really, it sounds like you've built some friendships too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about some of the challenges, right? I mean, this is obviously can be tough on a given day. I mean, what would you like to share with us about some of the challenges that you face out there?
Yeah. I think everybody has good days and bad days, and that's important to remember when you're working with this population, that not everybody is going to have a good day every day.
And all of us too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's so
normal
true.
for most of us. So, yep.
Yeah. And just being patient and understanding, I think, is super important in our field.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. What, given the studies and the amount of work and time you've poured into this, what do you see yourself doing, 5 to 10 years out? I know it sounds like a long time for a young person, but what would you like to see? What are some of your goals?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I get that question a lot about where I see myself. And right now I'm really not sure, but I would love to work in a special education school in Michigan. I kind of feel like I would be able to bridge my 2 degrees in that setting and just continue my passion of working with people with disabilities. So I could definitely see myself in that setting, but I would love to continue advocating for this community because I don't think there are enough organizations or individual people who do that. And I'm thankful to be on this podcast with you and continue that.
That's great. No, I opened up with, there's just not enough people that are jumping into this kind of commitment and career. So God bless you, Megan. I hope you continue to enjoy what you're doing and build your career. And it's important to be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people on the other side where you're giving them your time and energy and care, I'm sure they deeply appreciate it. And the families of those individuals, right? I mean, that's
true.
There's families behind every one of these special needs people. So thank you. So what I'd like to wrap up with a little bit is, what advice would you give to someone that might be in high school right now, right? Think back to how you got involved in this career field and how you evolved and built your resume. What advice would you give other young people that might be thinking about it? Or maybe the better question is, that haven't even considered this field?
Yeah. I would say just test the waters. Like, if this is something that you think you might be interested in, there's a lot of work and volunteer opportunities out there, and get involved. Even if it's only for a couple months, you could see if this is an area that you could see yourself working in or volunteering in the future.
Great. No, that makes sense. That's inspiring. So, well, Megan, look, I really appreciate your time here. I want to thank you for everything you're doing. And on behalf of all of us that have special needs family members and that, again, God bless you for doing this and choosing this field. And I look forward to hearing from you down the road. We'll follow you and want to keep hearing this great story. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for having me.
All right. Well, thanks again, everyone. And we'll come back at you soon with the next episode at CavAdvotech.